Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, July 8th. We are looking at Window Traders market profile of SPY, IWM, and Triple Qs. A lot to talk about. Let's get to it. I want to do all the charts for all three of these indices. Another incredible finish as the SPY and ES go out with all-time highs. Let's start first with the Triple Qs, as they didn't get an all-time high, but they're banging on the door as they go out with two sets of single prints. Trend day up, C and D. They end basically 9 wide, not 10 wide. Actually, I might have to update this. It might have only been 8 wide. Let me see. Without end period. Yes, it was 8 wide. I don't count end period. But a very strong day for the Triple Qs and NQ. Russell, open. Very nice buy tail. They don't go trend at all. They do probe though. They had two B shapes before flushing out yesterday. Well, today they took care of whoever was still short with a P shape for short covering. SPY and ES. Look at the volume that was just absolutely packed in here at the highs of the day. We open on a gap. Hold it. Don't look back. We have a lowest accepted price. We go out with three sets of single prints. B, D, and K. So, again, I'm going to probably treat this as at least two double distributions. M's low to the day's high. E's high to, I'm going to say, F's low. And now I'll probably go C's high to the day's low. So just call it a triple distribution day. I have that checklist that I think I've spoken about here where we see who's in charge. Well, the buyers had everything checked off. Let's go through it real quick. Gap, check. Higher value, check. Overnight high. Above the opening, lowest accepted price, initial balance high. They one time framed up most of the day. They had single prints and the indices were up. The only thing that wasn't really checked off is the volume, and it really is on up days. As we all know, the market just grinds. But that's incredibly powerful. Speaking about the lowest accepted price, yesterday's low was exactly a lowest accepted price from June 30th to the penny. We bounced off it and rallied $8. So these lowest accepted prices are powerful. I took a long against it. One of these days I'll hold on to it because, and I said I was going to hold on to at least 5. Last time I said next time we have a lowest accepted price, I want to hold on to at least 5 or 10 contracts. Didn't do it. Should have, at least until we stopped the one-time framing up. Actually lost money on the day today because one trade I didn't take and one I did take. And we'll go over that in a minute. And as far as what is a lowest accepted price, all it is when A closes. So here's A's close. These are in 15 minutes, these bars. B opened at the same exact price and just took off. That's what I mean by lowest accepted price. It was never accepted lower. Now, if we go down 10 cents, 12 cents, I could possibly use it. Starts going down 15 or 20 cents, that's out the window. But when it opens and only goes down a couple of pennies, or like today, didn't go down at all, it shows you how strong the buying is, and you need to be long. If it ever gets back below B's low, then that's over. But we never did. As far as my trades, I took I took a straddle. Remember I was talking about the straddles in the pre-market. I took the 432.50 straddles. And shame on me, they weren't doing much even when A was moving. And I ended up taking them off for break even. Well, if I had held those for the next 2 or 3 time frames, I would have went from break even to probably up about $1,500 to $2,000 on that 30 lot. Because at one point I got in at $1.79. The calls went even in D period. I think they went up to about. So I bought the calls, I believe, at 90 cents, something like that, or 80 something cents. The calls went up to about $2.50 or $2.70. So I would have made a lot of money on the calls, and it would have been a good trade. Didn't hold on to it, broke even. Took that long in B against the lowest accepted price. That worked out very nicely. Then after that, I took a small short in D against the all-time high. I thought the first time, maybe they don't get it or they get it and that's all they want to do. It was a small one and I had a short leash on it. Once we took it out and didn't pull back, took it off for loss. That wasn't a big deal. Here's where my day turned to the dark side. I was looking to get long. the pocket at the time was 3 wide here at B, C, and D. I was looking to get long in F. I was like, I don't think they're going to go back down to make this 4 wide. I think they'll hold it here because they want to raise POC. But I wasn't sure if they would do that. I had 50 calls all lined up. Well, guess what? I didn't take them, and we went right back up. So what did I do? When G came down, actually it wasn't G. It might have been H. When H came down, I'm like, well, now maybe we raise POC, so now they'll attempt to fill maybe this one set of single prints and get an afternoon pullback. So instead of taking a long in F, I ended up taking which would have paid me very nicely. I took a short, and I'm not upset I took the short because I thought the odds were good now that the POC was raised. We could flush out, fill the singles, and get a pullback. Didn't happen. Went up, took them off. So instead of making probably a good 20 to 25 cents on a call, lost 20 cents on a put. That's a huge reversal, which kind of wiped out the day. And I didn't do anything after that because, again, once this market starts grinding like it does, and then KL and M do their own thing, I was like, let them do what they got to do. So, destinations for Monday. Well, there's only one, folks, on the upside. It is now a weekly high, an all-time high of 435.84. For the downside, even though we closed below it, L's high where we probed 435.71. 3 sets of single prints. 435.28, M's low to E's high, 22 cents, small one. They're all pretty small. Actually, 2 are small. Then we have 434.57 to 44, which is F's low to C's high. And then the third one, which is the biggest one, 433.91 to 64, C's low to A's high. And then we have the lowest accepted price, 433.58. We have a tremendous buy tail, very nice buy tail, to today's low of 432.31, and then filling the gap at 431.73. And then don't forget, we have nothing throughout all of yesterday except, which is now the weekly low, yesterday's low of 427.52. So we rallied over $8 off of that. And right now they have us closing at, let me see where they have SPY closing, 435.52, which puts us up $1.80 for the week. So after 2 very strong weeks, now we have another one. If that's the pullback, we're up $1.80. Any sellers still left in this market or shorts are in trouble. Now, let's go to the charts. I'm going to go through all 3 of these indices. Monthly in the IWM we're going to start with is still balanced. It's been in balance. We're in balance for 5 months. That has not changed. Weekly came out of an inside week to the downside, and there was some damage done as they took out 3 previous weekly lows. And I said that, right, the destination would be 221 and then 219, and they would want to hold that. Well, believe it or not, they got below that to 217.85, but rebounded really nicely into these other 3 weeks. But for now, even though we came back in, for my money's worth, I'm calling the weekly down. They came out of an inside week down. So monthly's balance, weekly is down for the Russell for me. Daily is back in balance. We were down. We just stopped the one-time framing down. We're in a 3-day balance right now. We'll use Wednesday's high as the high of it and Thursday's low as the low of it. For the triple Qs, monthly still healthy. They're one-time framing up 2 months out of an inside month. I'm sorry, not out of an inside month, but they're a one-time framing up 2 months up. Weekly, incredibly healthy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks now out of an inside week. One-time framing up and getting distance away from right? If the trend is still young, you should be getting distance away from previous weekly highs. Well, they're doing that. And the daily, after coming into balance, right? We went bull to balance. Well, we're still balanced. Now, you could use this as a 4-day balance in the triple Qs. And for SPY and ES, 9 months, one time framing up. Just chugging along. 9 months. Weekly. We said we needed to get distance away from this balance. Well, there's 3 weeks ago. There's last week. There's this week. They're doing a decent job of it. Monthly up. Weekly up. Daily. We went bull, balance, bear, back to balance. One day we went bear. Couldn't even test the 20-day moving average. Back to balance. The balance for my money's worth the last 2 days. Today's high, yesterday's low is the 2-day balance. If we take out today's high on Monday, we will be back to up in the daily also. Volume this week, I mean, again, it was a short week, 300 million. Nothing great. The previous week we did 265. And that was a full week. So again, not bad volume. But again, that volume happens also when they attempted to push the market down the other day. So we'll see what how we resume after these first 2 weeks of July. I hope you had a great week trading. Have an awesome weekend. Stay safe. And we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.